Don't ignore these visible $1 coins because these coins can make you a millionaire overnight. Yes, you thought right because the value of these coins is much more than $1. We are presenting some examples in front of you that you will not believe your eyes. Yes, specific presidential dollar coins with rare mint errors have sold for significant amounts, with top examples exceeding $100,000. The highest priced coins are 2007 issues with missing edge lettering, specifically John Adams and Washington, which remove the required date and mint mark. These errors are highly prized by collectors. According to NGC Coin Grading, 2007 John Adams missing edge lettering, $1 million sold for $141,000 in 2015, and another for over $108,000 in 2014, making them some of the most valuable. 2007 Washington missing edge lettering, $1 million sold for $17,625 at a Heritage Auctions in 2016. According to Gold IRA Guide, 2007 George Flies Washington with various errors, besides the missing text variations of this coin, can sell for hundreds of dollars. In 2008, Martin Van Buren era's certain plain edge variants are estimated to hold high value. After watching the video till now, your thinking must have changed, and you must be surprised because you must have seen these coins many times, and these coins must have passed through your hands, and you must be wondering how to find these coins. In the video, you will be told about all the coins one by one, and from the information given about each coin, you will be able to guess which coin can be sold for a good price. Watch the video until the end so you too can benefit from it. First of all, we discuss about 2007 George Washington presidential dollar coin. If you are brand new here, then buckle up right now, because what you are about to hear over the next several minutes is going to absolutely blow your mind and permanently change the way you look at pocket change forever, because today we are diving headfirst into one of the most fascinating and shockingly underrated coins in all of our American numismatic history, and we are talking about the George Washington presidential dollar coin, a coin that most unsuspecting people have casually tossed into a jar or handed across a gas station counter without a single clue that in certain conditions, in certain mint years, in certain extraordinary circumstances, that very coin, sitting innocently in their palm, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And before you even think about skipping ahead, I am telling you right now that the story of this coin is not just about money, it is about presidential legacy. It is about government blunders that accidentally created breathtaking treasures, and it is about a passionate collecting community that is quietly going absolutely wild over these coins while the rest of the world remains dangerously oblivious. So stay locked in, because every single minute of what follows is packed with jaw-dropping revelations, and the very first thing you absolutely must understand is how this entire presidential dollar program even came to exist, because without that foundation, none of the rest of this incredible story makes a shred of sense. So let us travel all the way back to the year 2005, when the United States Congress passed the Presidential $1 Coin Act, which was a landmark piece of legislation specifically designed to honor the commanders-in-chief of the United States by placing their portraits on dollar coins in the exact chronological order in which they served their country, and this ambitious program was directly modeled after the wildly successful 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and generated a tsunami of collector excitement and pumped enormous amounts of money into the American economy through coin purchases. And the idea behind the presidential dollar program was nothing short of brilliant on paper, because who, in their right mind, would not want to collect a coin honoring every single president of the United States? It was patriotic, it was educational, it was the kind of sweeping national initiative that sounded absolutely guaranteed to succeed. And yet, the story of what actually unfolded is so much more complicated and so much more riveting and so much more dramatic than any government planner ever anticipated. And the George Washington dollar was the very first coin released in this entire monumental program, which means it carries the enormous weight of being a pioneer, a trailblazer, the coin that launched what would become one of the most controversial and endlessly discussed coin programs in modern American numismatic history. And this inaugural coin was ceremonially released on February 15, 2007. With great fanfare and celebration, and on that unforgettable day, something happened that nobody at the United States Mint had planned for, something that transformed what was supposed to be a routine coin release into a genuine numismatic earthquake that sent shockwaves reverberating through the collector community from coast to coast. And that something was the stunning discovery that a significant number of these Brand new George Washington presidential dollar coins had escaped into the wild, missing something that every single United States coin has been legally required to carry for generations, and that missing element was the edge lettering and let me explain precisely what that means, because the designers and engineers of the presidential dollar series had made an innovative and ultimately catastrophic decision regarding how the inscriptions would appear on this coin, and the decision was this: instead of placing the traditional required inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "E Pluribus Unum" on the obverse or reverse face of the coin, they would engrave those inscriptions on the edge of the coin, the side, the rim, the part that almost nobody ever examines closely, and this was intended to give the coin faces a cleaner, more elegant, and more modern aesthetic that would stand apart from every previous American coin design, and it sounded like a genuinely inspired idea until the manufacturing reality revealed a terrifying flaw lurking within the production process, because the edge lettering was applied in an entirely separate step after the coin had already been struck between the dies, and what that meant in practical terms was that it was entirely and horrifyingly possible for finished coins to slip through the entire multi-stage production process and make it all the way into Federal Reserve bags and then out into general circulation without ever having that critical edge lettering applied at all. And that is exactly what happened on a scale that stunned the entire numismatic world, and the coins that escaped without Eric lettering are now known throughout the collecting community by a chilling nickname that sends genuine shivers down the spines of serious numismatists. And that nickname is the Godless Dollars, because without the edge lettering, they are missing the "In God We Trust" inscription that American law mandates must appear on all United States coins. And the moment collectors and news organizations got wind of this extraordinary error, the entire country erupted into a frenzy that was unlike anything the coin collecting world had experienced in years, and major news outlets from the New York Times to CNN picked up the story, and suddenly everybody in America was turning over every George Washington dollar they could get their hands on and examining the edges with intense scrutiny. And the United States Mint was overwhelmed with phone calls and letters and emails in the era of coins that had been sitting completely unnoticed in cash registers and coin jars and vending machine trays, suddenly metamorphosed into hot commodities worth dramatically and shockingly more than their humble $1 face value. And here is where the numbers become truly staggering, because in the initial frenzy, immediately following the discovery of the error, these godless dollar coins were selling on eBay for anywhere from $50 to over $300 per coin, depending on their condition, and the bidding wars were absolutely ferocious, with collectors and opportunistic investors alike scrambling over each other to secure examples before the finite supply could be absorbed into permanent collections. And the United States Mint eventually acknowledged that approximately 50,000 of these error coins had successfully made it into circulation, which sounds like a meaningful number until you compare it to the hundreds of millions of properly made George Washington dollars that were produced, and suddenly you realize with breathtaking clarity that finding one of these error coins in everyday change was statistically comparable to finding a needle in a haystack the size of the entire state of Texas. And the godless dollar edged lettering omission was not even the only edged lettering problem that plagued the Washington presidential dollar, because there was also a separate and equally fascinating issue involving coins, where the edge inscriptions were applied with an incorrect rotational orientation relative to the obverse portrait design. And these are documented as rotated edge lettering errors, and in certain orientations, they are genuinely rarer than even the missing edge lettering errors, and some of the most dramatic rotated examples have sold for prices that would make your head spin. And the entire unprecedented situation forced the United States Mint to undertake a complete top-to-bottom redesign of its quality control procedures and production inspection protocols going forward. And in one of the most consequential decisions in the entire history of modern American coinage, the Mint made the determination to move the "In God We Trust" inscription from the edge back to the obverse face of the coin. Beginning in 2009, and that monumental decision was driven directly and entirely by the public controversy and the legal and political pressures surrounding the godless dollar scandal, and it permanently and fundamentally altered the visual appearance of every presidential dollar coin that came after, and ensures that the first year Washington dollars will always stand apart visually from everything that followed. But let us now turn our full attention to George Washington himself, because the man whose face graces this coin deserves far more serious consideration than most casual observers give him. And when you truly understand who George Washington was and what extraordinary qualities he embodied, you begin to appreciate in a much deeper way why having him inaugurate this entire series was such a powerful and historically resonant choice. And George Washington was, of course, the first president of the United States, serving two terms from 1789 to 1797, and he is one of perhaps 3 or 4 individuals in all of recorded human history who could have taken absolute monarchical power and who chose with full deliberateness and moral clarity not to do so. And when the Revolutionary War ended in American victory and the Continental Army stood triumphant, Washington could have crowned himself king of the new republic, and the astonishing truth is that the majority of the people around him would have enthusiastically supported that decision because they trusted him with a depth of devotion that bordered on worship. But instead, this remarkable man resigned his military commission, walked away from power, returned to his beloved Mount Vernon plantation, and simply waited to be called back into service through the democratic electoral process that he himself had helped establish. Get ready to uncover one of the most shocking and fascinating secrets hiding in plain sight inside your pocket change, because today we are diving deep into the mysterious world of the Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar coin, a coin that many people ignore every single day, yet collectors whisper about in excitement and curiosity this coin honors. Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential founding fathers of the United States, a man whose legacy shaped a nation and whose face now what appears on a golden dollar coin that could be worth far more than just $1, depending on what you are holding in your hands. And as we explore its history, value, rarity, auctions, and the unbelievable stories behind collectors chasing this coin, you might just realize that you have been overlooking a hidden treasure all along. The presidential dollar series was launched by the United States Mint in 2007 with the goal of honoring each president in the order they served, and the Thomas Jefferson coin, released in 2007, quickly became one of the most talked about issues, not just because of the historical importance of Jefferson himself, but because of surprising minting variations, errors, and collector demand that created a wave of excitement across the numismatic world. Now imagine millions of these coins entering circulation. Shiny, golden, and seemingly ordinary, yet among them, a few rare pieces slip through, with subtle differences that only sharp eyes can detect. And those differences can turn an ordinary dollar into a coin worth tens, hundreds, or even thousands of dollars at auctions. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that looks like spare change could potentially fund your next big purchase if you know exactly what to look for. And that is why collectors around the world are constantly hunting for Jefferson presidential dollars. Check in mint marks, edges, and finishes with intense focus, because the devil is in the details and the rewards can be jaw-dropping. The Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar features a bold portrait of Jefferson on the obverse, capturing his dignified expression, while the reverse displays the Statue of Liberty, symbolizing freedom and democracy, a design consistent across the presidential dollar series. Yet what makes this coin truly thrilling is not just its design, but its hidden features, including edge lettering, which was a unique addition to this series. Unlike traditional coins, the date, mint, mark, and mottos are not on the front or back, but inscribed along the edge, and this unusual placement led to one of the most shocking mint errors in modern coin history. The missing edge lettering error coins, sometimes called godless dollars, because they lack the inscriptions including "In God We Trust." These error coins sent shockwaves through the collector community when discovered, because suddenly, a simple oversight transformed ordinary coins into highly desirable rarities. Collectors rushed to find them, and auction prices soared, with some selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on condition and demand. And the excitement did not stop there, because other variations such as doubled edge lettering, weak strikes, and satin finish coins from special mint sets added layers of intrigue, making the Jefferson presidential dollar a playground for treasure hunters who thrive on the thrill of discovery. Now let us talk about value, because this is where things get truly exciting. While most circulated Thomas Jefferson dollars are worth face value, pristine, uncirculated coins, especially those graded highly by professional grading services, can fetch significantly higher prices, and when you factor in rare errors, the numbers can skyrocket dramatically. Auction houses have recorded surprising sales where collectors battled fiercely to secure these elusive pieces, pushing prices far beyond expectations and creating headlines that fuel even more interest in the coin collecting world. Imagine holding a coin that costs $1 yet could sell for hundreds, just because of a tiny missing inscription or a slight variation that most people would never notice. This is the magic of numismatics, where history, rarity, and condition collide to create value and opportunity. Collectors are particularly drawn to coins graded MS-65 and above, because condition plays a crucial role in determining worth. The shinier, cleaner, and more flawless the coin, the more collectors are willing to pay, and when rarity meets perfection, the results can be explosive in auctions. And speaking of auctions, this is where the real drama unfolds, because coins, like the Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar, often become the center of intense bidding wars, especially when rare era varieties appear on the market. Collectors from around the world compete driven by passion, investment potential, and the thrill of owning a piece of history, and each auction tells a story of excitement, anticipation, and sometimes unbelievable final prices that leave newcomers stunned and eager to join the hunt. But what truly makes this coin so captivating is not just its potential value, but the journey of discovery. It offers anyone can start searching through their pocket change, coin rolls, or old collections, hoping to stumble upon that one rare piece that changes everything, and that possibility keeps the excitement alive, because treasure could literally be sitting unnoticed in a jar, drawer, or wallet, waiting for someone to recognize its significance and take action. And this is why the Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar has become a symbol of hidden opportunity in the modern coin collecting world. It represents the idea that value is not always obvious, and that with knowledge, patience, and a keen eye, anyone can uncover something extraordinary from something ordinary. So if you are watching this right now, take a moment to think about the coins you have ignored, the change you have spent without a second thought, because among them could be a Jefferson dollar with a rare error or a exceptional condition that collectors are desperately seeking. And the next time you come across one, do not dismiss it, examine the edge, check the details, and remember that this seemingly simple coin carries the legacy of a founding father, the innovation of a unique minting process, and the thrilling possibility of hidden value waiting to be unlocked. And as collectors continue to chase these coins and auctions continue to reveal surprising prices, the legend of the Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar only grows stronger, making it one of the most intriguing and exciting coins of the modern era, and perhaps the next great discovery could be yours. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that is not just money, but a powerful time capsule bursting with history, mystery, and hidden value. The John Quincy Adams presidential dollar coin is exactly that, a stunning piece of American heritage that many people overlook, yet collectors quietly chase with intense passion and sometimes even pay surprising prices at auctions. This coin honors John Quincy Adams, the sixth president of the United States, a man whose legacy stretches far beyond his presidency into diplomacy, politics, and the fight for justice. And when his image was immortalized in the presidential dollar coin program, it created a fascinating collectible that today sparks curiosity, excitement, and even treasure hunting dreams among coin enthusiasts across the world. Now here is where things get truly interesting, because at first glance this coin might seem ordinary, just another golden-colored dollar coin sitting unnoticed in drawers, jars, or forgotten collections. But what if he told you that certain versions of this coin can be worth far more than their face value, and that collectors are constantly searching for rare variations, mint errors, and pristine conditions that can skyrocket its worth? This is where the thrill begins. The John Quincy Adams presidential dollar coin was released in 2008 as part of the United States Mint Presidential Dollar Series, a program designed to honor each deceased president in order of their service. And this specific coin features a detailed portrait of Adams on the obverse, capturing his serious, thoughtful expression, while the reverse showcases the iconic Statue of Liberty, symbolizing freedom and national pride. But beyond its design lies a deeper story, one that involves rarity collector, demand minting quirks, and unexpected auction surprises that make this coin far more exciting than it appears. The coin was minted in large numbers at facilities such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, which means millions of these coins exist. However, not all coins are created equal, and this is where rarity begins to take shape. Because collectors are not just looking for any John Quincy Adams dollar, they are searching for coins in perfect, uncirculated condition, proof versions with mirror-like finishes, and most importantly, rare mint errors that can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Imagine discovering a coin with missing edge, lettering, doubled inscriptions, or misaligned strikes. These small imperfections can transform a $1 coin into something worth dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of dollars, depending on its uniqueness and condition. Now let us dive deeper into value, because this is what truly captures attention. Most circulated John Quincy Adams dollar coins are still worth $1, but uncirculated examples in mint state condition can sell for several dollars, especially if graded by professional services and preserved in flawless condition. Proof coins produced specifically for collectors often have higher value due to their limited mintage and superior quality. And then comes the most exciting category, error coins. These are the hidden gems, the unexpected jackpots that collectors dream of, finding coins with missing edge inscriptions, which should normally include the year, mint, mark, and motto, have been known to fetch significant prices at auctions because they are rare and highly sought after. Some of these error coins have sold for impressive amounts, shocking casual collectors who once thought they had nothing more than spare change. And auctions play a crucial role in revealing the true potential of these coins. Because when rare examples appear in competitive bidding environments, their prices can climb dramatically, driven by collector enthusiasm, and scarcity. Platforms like heritage auctions and eBay have seen surprising sales where rare presidential dollar coins, including John Quincy Adams issues, have reached values far beyond expectations. And this is why collectors constantly search rolls of coins, visit banks, and explore old collections, hoping to uncover that one extraordinary piece that changes everything. The collector community itself adds another layer of excitement because it is filled with passionate individuals who study coins, analyze details, and share discoveries. They discuss dye varieties, minting eras, grading standards, and historical significance, creating a vibrant world where even a single coin can spark intense discussion and admiration. And the John Quincy Adams dollar coin holds a special place in this world because it represents not only a historical figure, but also a period in modern coin collecting when new series sparked fresh interest among both beginners and experienced numismatists. And rarity is not always about low mintage. Sometimes it is about survival, condition, and unique characteristics. Many coins may have been produced, but only a small percentage remain in perfect condition, free from scratches, wear, or damage, and even fewer possess rare errors that make them stand out. And this is why grading becomes essential. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading companies can command significantly higher prices because they are considered near-perfect examples, and collectors are willing to pay premiums for such quality. The edge lettering on presidential dollar coins adds another fascinating element because unlike most coins where inscriptions are on the faces, these coins have inscriptions on the edge, including the year, mint mark, and motto, E pluribus unum. However, during early production, some coins were released without this edge lettering, creating what collectors call godless dollars, a nickname that instantly adds intrigue and desirability to these pieces. And if you ever come across a John Quincy Adams dollar coin with missing edge lettering, you could be holding something far more valuable than you think, and this possibility transforms everyday coin handling into an exciting treasure hunt where every coin examined could reveal a hidden surprise. And let us not forget the historical significance, because John Quincy Adams himself was a remarkable figure, the son of John Adams, the second president. He served as a diplomat, senator, secretary of state, and president, and later became a vocal opponent of slavery in Congress, earning respect for his dedication to justice. And his legacy adds depth to the coin, making it not just a collectible, but a symbol of American history and values. And this emotional and historical connection enhances its appeal among collectors who appreciate coins as storytellers of the past. Now imagine building a collection of presidential dollar coins, each representing a different leader, each with its own story and potential value. The John Quincy Adams coin becomes a key piece in that collection, especially for those who aim to complete the series, and completion itself drives demand. The collectors often seek to acquire every coin in a set, pushing up interest and sometimes prices for specific issues. And as more people become aware of coin collecting through online videos, social media, and marketplaces, the demand for unique and rare coins continues to grow, bringing renewed attention to pieces like the John Quincy Adams dollar and creating opportunities for both seasoned collectors and curious beginners to participate in this fascinating hobby. And the accessibility of these coins makes the journey even more exciting because unlike ancient artifacts or extremely rare coins that are out of reach for most people, presidential dollar coins can still be found in circulation, bankrolls, or affordable purchases, meaning anyone can start searching today and possibly discover something extraordinary. And this sense of possibility is what fuels the passion of collectors around the world. The idea that hidden among ordinary coins could be a rare, valuable piece waiting to be found. And when it comes to selling these coins, timing, presentation, and knowledge are crucial. Understanding the condition, rarity, and market demand can help sellers achieve better prices. And platforms like online auctions, coin shows, and collector forums provide avenues to connect with buyers who recognize the true value of these coins and are willing to pay accordingly. And as the years pass and fewer pristine examples remain available, the value of high-quality John Quincy Adams presidential dollar coins could continue to rise, especially for rare variants and heir coins, making them not just collectibles but potential investments. In this combination of history, rarity, and financial potential creates a powerful attraction that keeps collectors engaged and always searching for the next discovery. So the next time you come across a golden dollar coin, do not dismiss it. Take a closer look, examine the details, check the edge lettering, and consider the possibility that you might be holding a piece of history with hidden value. Because in the world of coin collecting, even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold extraordinary secrets, and the John Quincy Adams presidential dollar coin is a perfect example of how history Artistry and rarity come together to create something truly captivating and potentially valuable, and this is why collectors continue to hunt, study, and cherish these coins, turning simple currency into stories of discovery, excitement, and sometimes life-changing finds. What if I told you that a single dollar coin, a coin you could find buried in a drawer, forgotten in a jar, or casually tossed into a cup holder, could secretly be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and most people in the world have absolutely no idea? Well, today we are cracking open one of the most electrifying and jaw-dropping secrets in the entire world of coin collecting, because we are talking about the 2008 Andrew Jackson presidential dollar coin, the seventh coin in the legendary presidential dollar coin program. A coin that looks completely ordinary on the surface but hides a world of shocking rarity, explosive auction results, and collector obsession that will absolutely blow your mind. So let's start at the very beginning, because the man on this coin was himself one of the most controversial, fierce, and unstoppable forces in American history. Born in 1767 into crushing poverty with almost no formal education, Andrew Jackson clawed his way from nothing to become the seventh president of the United States of America, earning the legendary nickname Old Hickory because he was as tough and unyielding as hickory wood. This was a man who survived duels, led armies into impossible battles, and turned the entire American political system upside down. And it was his incredible military victory at the Battle of New Orleans during the Battle of 1812 that catapulted him to national fame and eventually to the White House, where he served from 1829 to 1837. So when the United States Mint chose to honor him with his very own presidential dollar coin in 2008, it was no small event. In fact, the official release ceremony was held at the Hermitage, Jackson's very own historic home in Nashville, Tennessee, on August 14, 2008, where children under the age of 18 were handed actual, uncirculated Andrew Jackson dollars for free. Can you imagine just walking away with what could today be a collector's treasure, completely for free? But here's where the story gets truly explosive and absolutely shocking. Because while the Philadelphia Mint struck over 61 million of these coins, and the Denver Mint struck another 61 million, making the total production run a staggering 122 million coins. Not all of those coins are equal, not even close. In fact, buried within those millions of coins were catastrophic and breathtaking minting errors that transformed ordinary $1 coins into rare numismatic treasures that collectors will go absolutely crazy trying to hunt down. And the most legendary of these errors, the one that sends shockwaves through the coin collecting world every single time it surfaces, is the missing edge lettering error. You see, the presidential dollar coin was specifically designed to carry critical inscriptions on its edge, including the date, the mint mark, the motto "In God We Trust," and "E Pluribus Unum." But a jaw-dropping number of these Andrew Jackson dollars escaped the mint with completely blank edges. Nothing. Zero. Not a single letter. And when collectors first discovered this terrifying and exciting mistake, the prices went absolutely ballistic. Coins with this missing edge lettering error can fetch $30 and beyond just for that single flaw alone. And that is only the beginning, because condition is everything in this game, and the difference between a coin worth $1 and a coin worth hundreds, or even $1,000, can come down to the most microscopic details. A coin graded MS-65 in uncirculated condition from either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint is worth around $3.40, perfectly respectable. But climb up to the elite MS-67 grade, and suddenly you are staring at values reaching $370. And one legendary MS-67 example was actually hammer sold at auction for an astounding $537 back in 2011. But wait, because it gets even more breathtaking. The professional coin grading service, known as PCGS, the most respected coin grading authority on the planet, has certified to extraordinarily rare Andrew Jackson dollars with missing edge lettering and a special satin finish graded at the almost perfect SP69 level. And the PCGS values each of those two jaw-dropping specimens at an eye-watering $1,000 each. One single dollar coin valued at $1,000. That is 1,000 times its face value, and it is the kind of discovery that makes coin collectors wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, hoping they might be the lucky one to find the next great example. And speaking of the proof, Coins San Francisco Mint produced 3,083,940 proof Andrew Jackson dollars in 2008. These are not ordinary coins. These are masterpieces of minting, struck on special polished plate with extraordinary detail, mirror-like fields, and frosted raised designs. Built specifically and exclusively for collectors. You'll never ever find one of these in your spare change because they were sold directly to collectors in sealed rolls and bags. And while most Proof: Andrew Jackson coins are more abundant compared to other proofs in the presidential series. The finest examples in flawless conditions still command serious premiums that make collectors' hearts race. So what does this all mean for you right now today? It means that if you have any presidential dollar coins sitting around, whether they came from a bankroll, a gift, an old collection, or even just rattling around at the bottom of a bag, you need to look at them with fresh eyes and serious attention. Check the edges carefully. If you see missing lettering, you could be holding something extraordinary. Examine the condition under good lighting. Look for any doubling, off-center strikes, or other dramatic errors. Because the modern minting process, while highly refined, is still not perfect, and the next great Andrew Jackson era coin could be sitting right in your hands this very moment. The collector community for presidential dollar coins is massive, passionate, and growing every single year, with dedicated numismatists trading, grading, and competing at auction houses and online platforms around the world to secure the finest and rarest examples. PCGS and NGC certified coins carry premium values that dwarf their uncertified counterparts in getting your coin. Professionally graded could be the single most valuable decision you ever make, because what looks like a $1 coin to the untrained eye could be a certified rarity worth hundreds or thousands to the right collector. This is the incredible hidden world of the Andrew Jackson presidential dollar coin, a coin born from the legacy of one of America's most ferocious and unforgettable presidents, a coin full of secrets, errors, rarities, and explosive collector value that most people walk right past without ever knowing. And now you know. So go check your coins, go check your collections, go dig through those old jars and drawers, because somewhere out there the next $1,000 Andrew Jackson dollar coin is waiting to be discovered, and it just might be sitting right in front of you. Get ready, because what you are about to discover is going to absolutely blow your mind, because today we are diving deep into one of the most jaw-dropping, fascinating, and shockingly underrated coins in all of American numismatic history, the 2009 John Tyler presidential dollar coin, a coin that on the surface looks like a simple $1 piece. But hiding beneath that golden gleaming surface is a treasure trove of explosive history, mind-bending, rarity, eye-popping auction values, and secrets that most people have never ever heard of. And the very first thing you need to know before we go any further is that John Tyler himself was one of the most controversial, electrifying, and downright scandalous presidents in the entire history of the United States, because this man was never even elected to the presidency. He was the vice president who seized power in 1841 after William Henry Harrison died of pneumonia just 31 days into office, making Tyler the very first accidental president in American history. And when he took the oath of office, his own Whig Party was so furious, so absolutely outraged at his bold, defiant political moves and his fierce support of states' rights and his refusal to follow the party line that they did something that had never been done before and has almost never been done since. They kicked him out of his own political party, while he was still sitting in the White House, making John Tyler literally a president. Without a party, a man completely alone at the highest office in the land, and that staggering, shocking story is the very history that lives inside this coin. Now, the coin itself was struck in 2009 as the 10th release in the United States Mint Presidential Dollar Coin Program, a breathtaking commemorative series that launched in 2007 and honored each former president in the order they served. And what makes this series so extraordinarily special and so wildly collectible is that, unlike any other regular American coin, the presidential dollar features a revolutionary design element that most people never even notice. Edge lettering, actual inscriptions pressed into the very rim of the coin reading E pluribus unum, the year of minting 2009, and the mint mark identifying whether the coin came from the Philadelphia Mint stamped with a P or the Denver Mint stamped with a D. And this edge lettering was applied in a completely separate production step from the actual striking of the coin, which opened the door to one of the most electrifying and jaw-dropping mint errors in modern American coin history, the missing edge lettering error, a catastrophic production blunder where a small number of John Tyler presidential dollars escaped the United States Mint with absolutely no edge inscriptions whatsoever, a completely blank smooth rim when there should have been bold, crisp lettering. And according to PCGS, the professional coin grading service, which is the most respected coin authentication authority on earth, the John Tyler missing edge lettering coins are significantly scarcer and rarer than the missing edge errors found on the earlier 2007 and 2008 presidential dollar releases, making these error coins extraordinarily difficult to find and ferociously hunted by serious collectors across the globe. And when one of these incredible error coins surfaces at auction, things get absolutely wild, because NGC The Numismatic Guarantee Corporation has confirmed that in Gem Mint State MS66 grade, there are only around 41 known examples, with just 190 finer specimens known to exist in the entire world, and that stunning scarcity is what drives collectors absolutely crazy, because rarity is the beating heart of the numismatic world, and when you have a coin this rare with this much explosive presidential history attached to it, the auction results become genuinely shocking. High-grade MS67 examples of this coin certified by PCGS they appeared at major auction houses including heritage auctions and GRAC collections, where they have commanded prices that leave ordinary people speechless, because while a standard circulated John Tyler dollar is worth just its face value of $1, and an uncirculated MS65 example trades for around $3 to $4, the moment you enter the world of high-grade error coins, the numbers explode dramatically, with MS67 graded missing edge lettering examples fetching anywhere from hundreds to over $1,000 at competitive auction, because the most obsessive, determined, and well-funded collectors in the world will stop at nothing to complete their presidential dollar sets and secure the rarest, most pristine examples available, and there is yet another layer of jaw-dropping collectible value hiding inside this coin story, because one incredibly rare variant exists that makes even hardened numismatists do a double-take. The 2009 Tyler Missing Edge Lettering Error coin certified at PCGS MS67 and personally hand-signed by Edmund Moy, the actual director of the United States Mint. During the production of these coins, and owning a coin personally autographed by the man who oversaw its creation, and its famous error is the kind of numismatic holy grail that collectors dream about for years and years. Now, if you are wondering what a standard John Tyler dollar actually looks like, let me paint you a picture, because it is genuinely a beautiful piece of American artistry designed by master sculptor Phoebe Hemphill, with Don Everhart's work on the reverse. The obverse features a bold, commanding portrait of John Tyler himself, with his name inscribed directly above his portrait, along with his presidential term dates 1841 to 1845, while the reverse showcases the iconic, majestic Statue of Liberty with the inscription "The United States of America" and the dollar denomination, all combining to create a coin that is both historically powerful and visually stunning. And proof versions of this coin struck at the San Francisco Mint, bearing the S Mint mark, are finished on special polished planchets with exquisitely sharp details, and the most sought-after proof versions carry the deep cameo designation, meaning the raised design elements have a stunning frosted appearance against a deeply mirrored mirror-like background, creating an almost hypnotic visual contrast that makes these coins look more like miniature works of fine art than everyday money. And proof John Tyler $sin PR 68 condition are valued at around $7.75 in standard form, but certified deep cameo proof examples and top pop grades are the crown jewels of any presidential dollar collection. And now you need to hear the most absolutely astounding twist in this entire story, which is the fact that despite all this beauty, all this history, all this rarity, and all these extraordinary collector varieties, the presidential dollar series was a commercial disaster for the United States Mint, because the American public simply refused to use them in everyday commerce, and the coins piled up in Federal Reserve vaults by the billions, yes, billions, sitting there, unused, gathering dust, while the Mint kept producing them, until Congress finally intervened in 2011 and ordered the Mint to stop producing presidential dollars for general circulation, meaning that from that point on, these coins were struck only for collector sets and numismatic products, which makes every single circulation strike John Tyler presidential dollar. From 2009, a genuine piece of frozen American history that will never be made again the same way. And here is the final, mind-blowing fact that'll stick with you long after this video ends. John Tyler, the most controversial accidental president in American history, the man who was expelled from his own party, the man who fiercely championed states' rights and whose presidency cast a long dark shadow over the nation's march toward the Civil War. This man has no living grandchildren, you might assume, but shockingly impossibly as of recent years. John Tyler, who died in 1862, still had living grandchildren. His son, Lyon Tyler Sr., had children extremely late in life, and those grandchildren were alive well into the 21st century, making Tyler's personal legacy as mind-bending and impossible seeming as the rarest error coins that bear his face. So the next time you hold a John Tyler presidential dollar in your hand, you are not just holding a coin, you are holding a golden capsule of explosive American history, a tribute to a president so controversial his own party abandoned him, a product of one of the most dramatic production errors in modern mint history, and a coin that the most passionate, obsessive collectors on earth are hunting. right now. So check your pocket change, check your old coin jars, check everywhere, because you never know when a missing edge lettering John Tyler dollar might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. And if you found this video valuable and eye-opening, please smash that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another incredible deep dive into the world of rare coins. And comment below and tell me, do you own a John Tyler presidential dollar? And if so, which variety do you have? We will see you in the next one. The moment you hold the James K. Polk presidential dollar coin in your hand, you are not just holding a piece of metal, you are gripping a powerful fragment of American history. A silent witness to ambition, expansion, and destiny. A coin that at first glance may seem ordinary, but beneath its golden sheen lies a story. So electrifying, so layered with mystery, rarity, and collector obsession that it has quietly become one of the most talked about treasures in the modern coin world. And today, we are diving deep into the astonishing history, breathtaking value, shocking auction records, and the hidden secrets that make the James K. Polk presidential dollar coin a must-watch phenomenon for collectors and treasure hunters around the globe. Because what you are about to discover could completely change the way you look at the coins sitting unnoticed in your pocket. Okay, now, the Presidential Dollar Series launched in 2007 by the United States Mint was designed to honor former presidents in the order they served, and when the James K. Polk coin was released in 2009, it carried with it the legacy of one of the most underrated yet incredibly impactful leaders in American history, a president who expanded the nation's borders dramatically, and whose face now quietly resides on a coin that many people overlook every single day. Yet collectors know something the average person does not. They know that within this series, certain coins have exploded in value due to rare minting errors, low circulation, survival rates, pristine condition grading, and collector demand that continues to surge year after year, and the Polk dollar sits right at the center of this thrilling hunt for hidden riches. The design itself is bold, commanding, and steeped in symbolism, featuring a portrait of James K. Polk on the obverse with the inscriptions that remind us of his presidency, while the reverse carries the iconic Statue of Liberty, image representing freedom and strength. But here is where things start to get truly fascinating, because not all James K. Polk dollars are created equal. In fact, some versions of this coin are so rare and so highly sought. After that, they have stunned the numismatic world with their unexpected value spikes, especially when it comes to coins struck with errors or those preserved in near-perfect condition graded by top agencies like MS-67 or higher, where even the tiniest imperfection can mean the difference between a coin worth $1 and one worth hundreds or even thousands. And yes, you heard that right, thousands, for a coin that most people would casually spend without a second thought. Imagine the shock. Imagine the thrill of discovering that what you assumed was pocket change is actually a collector's dream. And that is exactly why the James K. Polk presidential dollar coin has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. Now let us talk about rarity, because this is where the excitement truly explodes. While millions of these coins were minted, not all of them survived in collectible condition. Many were circulated, heavily scratched, damaged, or simply lost over time, leaving a much smaller pool of high-grade examples. And within that pool, there exist ultra-rare variations, such as missing edge lettering, coins, double strikes, off-center strikes, and other mint errors that can send collectors into a frenzy. These errors are not just minor flaws, they are extraordinary accidents of the minting process that transform an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. And when such a coin appears at auction, the bidding can become fierce, intense, and absolutely jaw-dropping, with collectors willing to pay premium prices to secure a piece of this rarity-driven history. One of the most shocking aspects of the Polk dollar market is how quickly values can rise, especially when new collectors enter the scene and demand surges for high grade or error coins. Auctions have revealed stunning results, with certain specimens selling for hundreds of dollars and in rare cases approaching or exceeding four-figure territory, depending on condition, rarity, and certification. And this is not just hype, this is real, documented collector behavior driven by passion, competition, and the timeless allure of owning something rare and meaningful. And speaking of auctions, the atmosphere in these events is nothing short of electric picture, a room filled with collectors, experts, investors, all focused on a single coin, each bid raising the tension higher and higher until the hammer falls and a new record is set. This is the world where the James K. Polk presidential dollar coin thrives. A world where history meets adrenaline and where knowledge truly becomes power, because those who understand what to look for are the ones who walk away with the greatest rewards. So, what exactly should you be searching for if you want to uncover one of these hidden gems? First and foremost, pay close attention to the edge lettering. This is a defining feature of presidential dollar coins, and any irregularity here can significantly increase value. Missing lettering, doubled inscriptions, or misaligned text are all potential indicators of a rare error coin that could be worth far more than face value. Next, examine the overall condition. Look for coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and strong luster, as these are the qualities that grading companies reward with higher scores, and higher scores translate directly into higher market value. Also, keep an eye out for unusual coloration or striking anomalies, which could signal a unique minting issue. And finally, consider the mint mark coins from different mints can have different levels of rarity and demand and understanding. These nuances can give you a serious advantage in the hunt for valuable pieces. Collectors are not just buying coins, they are buying stories. They are buying connections to the past. And in the case of the James K. Polk presidential dollar coin, they are buying into a narrative of expansion, ambition, and historical transformation that continues to resonate today. This emotional connection, combined with the tangible rarity of certain coins, creates a powerful market dynamic where prices can soar, and where even a small discovery can lead to a big payoff. And let us not forget the role of grading services, which have become a cornerstone of the modern coin market. Having your coin professionally graded can dramatically increase its credibility and value, especially if it receives a high grade from a respected organization, because buyers are willing to pay more for coins that have been authenticated and evaluated by experts. This adds another layer of excitement to the process, because it means that even after you find a potentially valuable coin, the journey is not over. There is still the anticipation of grading, the possibility of a high score, and the thrill of seeing your coin's value confirmed or even exceed your expectations. And this is where the true magic happens, where curiosity turns into discovery and discovery turns into opportunity. The James K. Polk's presidential dollar coin may not have the same immediate recognition as older classic coins, but in many ways, that is exactly what makes it so exciting, because it represents a modern treasure hunt, a chance for everyday people to uncover extraordinary value in the most unexpected places. And as more collectors begin to realize the potential hidden within these coins, the demand continues to grow, pushing prices higher and making the search even more thrilling. So the next time you come across a presidential dollar, do not dismiss it. Do not spend it without a second glance. Take a closer look. Examine the details. Feel the weight of history in your hand, because you might just be holding a coin that tells a story far greater than its face. Value a coin that connects you to the past, while offering a glimpse of financial opportunity in the present. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, the James K. Polk presidential dollar coin sitting quietly in your collection right now is not just a coin, but a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered, a spark of excitement, a piece of history, and a potential gateway into the fascinating world of coin collecting, where every detail matters. Every coin has a story, and every discovery has the power to change everything.